So the overall aim of doing these counts really for us is, well, basically to gauge numbers, but not just that, gauge a population trend. Mountain hares are quite cyclic. They go up and down on a 10-year cycle roughly, and they fluctuate due to a number of factors, inclement weather, worm burdens and that sort of thing. So the reason we're doing these counts the way we're doing is basically to gauge where the population is, if it's on the rise, on the fall, or whether they're doing well or not so well, and that lets us make decisions on the population really. I suppose this new counting methodology is deemed to be more reliable. I would say that's probably continuity. We've all adopted this new counting system, whereas before different estates would have had different ways of doing things. They maybe would have done their counts at different times a year. Now we're all sort of singing from the same hymn sheet as such. We're doing the same counts at the same time of year. They're all being compiled in the same place, and it's allowing us to build a really good population picture for the whole country, not just individual estates. There's been hundreds of keepers trained now across Scotland. I think they've done training on 70 different sites, and to the best of my knowledge there's 60 to 70 plus estates now being trained in the new counting methodology. The way that we're implementing this new counting methodology is that we're counting a 1 tetrad square. So we're doing this at night time using spot lamps, and when we walk these 4 individual transects, they're 2 kilometres long, and basically we walk the hill like you see here, and we're going along with a spot lamp counting what we see within a set distance either side of us. In our case we're jotting these down on clickers, and when we get to the end of the transect we're just recording what we've seen in each transect, adding up the 4 transects, which gives us an overall count for the 1 tetrad square. Once we've completed these counts, we're sending them all to the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust, who are compiling all the counts for all of Scotland. I think going forward it's imperative that everybody that manages land in Scotland that contains mountain hares is trained, and that we all do the counts. It's not just for the sporting estates to justify why we manage hares, it's for everybody to justify that their management results in having hares on the ground. I think that's key. Through our management of the hare numbers on the estate, we have to, in the past to a degree, sort of levelled out the peaks and troughs that we would normally have seen, which are caused by worm burdens. So typically the worm burdens in the hare population builds and builds and builds to a point where the hares could no longer sustain that worm burden and the population just crashes. If we can manage that population when they are in seriously good numbers to just below that threshold of numbers of hares which result in the bigger worm burdens, we can maintain these high populations, which is what we have done in the past. So to say that there are more mountain hares because the population hasn't been managed, I would say would be wrong. If we let the population grow and grow and grow, we will see that huge cyclical crash like we did in the past. So I think some management is probably better than no management if we want to see healthy numbers of hares in Scotland.